All right, everybody. So this is Will, and he is a 4-year-old Holsteiner Thoroughbred cross that came in just a few days ago. And the problem that this horse has is that when he's out on a circle, especially to the right, he's really evasive. And he's not really sure how to respond appropriately to that sideways pressure of the halter when he gets his circle too large. In this video, I want to show you kind of what this problem is, because it's not all that uncommon, and how I'm going about fixing it. All right, so as you're watching this video, it should be pretty obvious that he is just kind of unbalanced as he's going forward. I mean, he's a big horse, and he's young, so he's just a little bit awkward. And so he's looking for a little bit of support as he's out there on that circle. And the way that he's going about doing that is by leaning on my hand. So whenever he gets going a little bit quicker, there's a lot of pressure on that rope. And he's not like tearing my arms off or anything like that. But it's really, really uncomfortable for both of us, actually. Sorry, I'm getting over a cold. Okay, so when I feel the pressure of the halter hit my hand, you can see how I kind of lean back a little bit and then tug him. I shouldn't say tug. It's like a gentle, like elastic pull towards the inside. Like I don't want to jerk him off of his feet. I want to pick up that pressure really, really slowly and kind of like reel him in. And then drop that pressure pretty quickly, like right in there. You can see how the rope gets a lot softer when he comes to the inside. I'm going to try and give him a little bit of a reward there, because he finally did come in for a few strides without leaning on my hand. But one of the problems that I have with him is that when he does come off of that pressure, he would quit. Like he would just stand there. And then you'd send him back out into the canter and off until the end of the rope that he would go. So this is like day 3 or 4 of working on this particular problem. And so it's still there. It's still really noticeable. It's still quite an issue, but much better than it was even just a few days ago. There. So I'm going to give him a little bit of relief there. Because he started following the track of the circle, and I felt like he was more connected to me. When he disconnects, he wants to look to the outside and really not pay me a whole lot of attention at all. He kind of just wants to go out there and lean and push. And he's got a really nice disengage too, so it's not a fear-based thing. I think it's just a big habit. That this is something that we see sometimes too when they've only been worked in a round pen. And I don't know what his story is, if he's been worked a lot in the round pen or if it's just been predominantly, on a line. But this problem normally won't be obvious if they're in a round pen, because they can't lean on your hand because there's a fence there. They can't go out that far. There, that was a really nice one. You can see he's really confident with people, so it's not like he's fearfully trying to get away from me or anything like that. It's just kind of a built-in habit. And he's got a really beautiful send. He does really pay attention quite well. He's quite a smart little guy. Little big guy. He's pretty big. He's just got a heart of gold. He's a really good boy. There we go. And send him off into the trot. So this is really kind of what I'm looking for here, and this is his difficult direction, but we're not going up into the canter yet. You can see as he starts to speed up, he starts getting out there to the end of the rope, pick up the rope very softly, and gradually reel him in a little bit. And I mean, of course, anytime you take a hold of their head and pull on it like that, I mean, even if you're not jerking on it, it does affect their balance, and it kind of, makes him brace up on me. But you can't just have him stand out there at the end of the line and pull on you either. Like he's got to learn to come in and balance himself and not push on the halter. For right now, I'm not really concerned about his lead or the fact that he's cross cantering where he's taking the wrong lead in the back. Sometimes I'm not really worried about that. What I'm worried about is him connecting to the circle, because when he connects to the circle, he's gonna get the lead. Rather than trying to get the lead first and then get the quality of the circle second. It's kind of what came first, the chicken or the egg. But you can see there when he struck off into the canter, at the moment that he struck off, he was looking to the right, he was bent to the right, and he was soft in my hand, so he picked up the right lead, no problem. So when I need to give him a release, sometimes I just disengage him and have him stop and face me and rub him on the face and give him some scratches and loves and hugs and kisses, and he enjoys that. But I also want to make sure that I'm not working just one side of his body. So even though this side is a much better side for him and he's way more comfortable with it, sometimes I'll use just like the change of direction as his release, just to get off of it and get onto something else. So he still struggles with his balance this way, but he's a lot more connected. And it's kind of hard to see in the video, I think probably because it's really, really cold outside and the lens is kind of all fogged up. But he looks at me. We're having a conversation a lot more
He's
to the left.
Really good.
It's not perfect yet, but it's a lot better. So now, as you can see, after that disengage, head off to the right again where he has a little bit more trouble with his lead. I'm just going to reel him in again. You know, anytime he touches the end of that halter, just reel him in. And one of the other issues that we have here is that he's really missing the primary purpose of, you know, what it means to be a good horse and a good partner, and that's just that he's missing the idea of finding the release, to seek out that release. So I can tell here he's a little frustrated, and he can't quite figure out what he's supposed to be doing. But he's not putting a lot of effort into figuring out what he's supposed to be doing. He's doing the same, like 3 things to get away from the pressure of cantering. And one is pushing really hard on my hand. The other is stopping completely. And the other is just turning his eye away and kind of pretending it's not happening. There we go. There. So when I go to release him and reward him, the trouble that I'm having is that when I release that rope, he just knocks off balance and back up into the end of the rope again. Let's see here. And we're going off to the right again. I think I cut out the rest of the going to the left just because it was a little bit less eventful. There wasn't really a whole lot going on there. It was just a nice soft release and off to the left, and give him a release after that and head back to the right again. And I'm liking this a lot better. The rope is even starting to kind of drag on the ground a little bit because he's more connected to me. There we go. And I think this is our last canter that he does. Just a little reel in and let him go. Off into the correct lead right away because the rope was slack when he went.
Nice.
And I'm going to try to reward that here real quick. Probably won't let him go for too long. There we go. And nice and soft
way
too.
Better.
You can see at the very, very end there, he kind of tried to move away. There we go. But he came to his senses. Good boy.